Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We are on a different night tonight, and so I welcome everyone that is in. I welcome everyone that will catch the replay later on. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope I didn't throw you off too bad this week with our family having a birthday and a little trip over Veterans Day weekend. And so I welcome everyone. Hello, let's see, Zamora, Linda, Laura. Let's see here, Rachel. Hello, Zan, Beth. Hello, Nan. Let's see, S. Andrews, and I saw Lori is here. Hello, all my friends. And of course, tonight we are continuing on with our 12 tags of Christmas. I saw a really sweet comment that someone has been inspired to create all different kinds of holiday tags, and that is awesome. And Lisa and I have been as well. We were just chatting about it on FaceTime just a minute ago and coming up with all kinds of really cool ideas and things that we can use on our own packages and everything this holiday season. So without further ado, I'm going to go down to my desk view tonight. We're going to do something a little bit different. And let's see here. Zan is supposed to be cleaning. Let's see here. Maybe Kelley's crafting will help me be motivated. Of course. Okay. So here is what we have come up with so far. Okay. So we've got lots of texture here with our 3D embossing folders. We have the snowflakes and the snowy pines. Add a little zhuzh to there, some pattern paper, and you've got it good to go. Now, this was all die cut with our wood slices. And then we have our lovely layers trees and an older die set. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is our winter bouquet. Some really pretty sentiments. You could use whatever you wanted to. And then, of course, last week we had Emily join us, and she created this large pre-made tag, craft paper, stamped our Saint Nick on there, added a wax seal. Even look how pretty that is with the wax seal on there, and then a pretty sentiment, and then we are all good to go. Okay, so tonight we're going to do some tags, of course, but I'm going to show you two different ones using our new 3D gift card box add-on stamp sets. And so I know a lot of you have picked these up because I see all of your marvelous orders and all the things that you're putting together. So we have the Holiday Treats Vintage, and it's hard to see in here, Holiday Treats Vintage Gift Card Box add-on. And then we also have the Christmas lights. I wanted to make sure I tell you the correct names. Now, this is what I have done. And I've already put together the holiday treats. And so I'll show you that first. But this is kind of what I'm going for tonight. So how do we use our stamp sets that are maybe created for a card or made for something else that we can change it up? We could make a card out of this, absolutely. But just like the Saint Nick tag that Emily made, this big, large Santa Claus was created and made to go on a larger card. But we can absolutely use all of our images and all of our things to create and do other things with those. So this is the one that I created today using that holiday treats. And you can see I have pulled out the glitter. I have gotten glittery and messy with this one. And so we're going to do the same thing with the Christmas lights or the holiday lights. Okay, so what I have done is I have stamped the image. And let me pull that back out here so we can talk about it. So I have stamped this image here that is technically designed to go on the top of that 3D box. I have stamped it. I have stamped the large ornament. And then I'm going to do some coloring out of with the craft cardstock. And I'm going to use colored pencils. But in the coordinating die set, you can see this large rectangle here. That makes the perfect die and the perfect size to create some sort of tag. And so when I saw these, I thought, this is going to be just absolutely perfect. So I'm going to zoom in here and I am going to walk you through some colored pencil coloring. And I'm going to teach you and kind of tell you about, and I'm not a pro at this. I'm going to tell you what Melissa, the owner of Honeybee Stamps, taught me when we were together not very long ago. And that is to start with a white pencil, because it actually makes all the colors that you put on top of those, it makes them pop and makes them even more vibrant. And so I'm going to start out just by tracing and going around our whole little ornament here. And I'm going to make this really easy. I like to just trace, just like we learned to do like in kindergarten or elementary school. And I've already die cut this, so it's going to make it a little bit harder to hold in my fingers. But I like to do this because in my brain, it makes me think that I'm going to stay in the lines better, just like my good old kindergarten teacher taught me. And then I'm going to flip it over and just give this an all over shading with the white pencil. Now, I want you guys, as I'm kind of going through this, I want you to tell me in the comments if you like to use colored pencils. Normally, I am a Copic gal, and I'm not great at those either, but I try. But when me and Lisa and Melissa were all together, Melissa kind of walked me through some of the steps and what to do to get better results with colored pencils, because I have never been that great at it. And so you lay down your white pencil and then everything else, because this is very waxy, it's going to glide and blend on top of there. And then all of our other colors are really going to pop out. Let's see. I picked up color pencils after watching you. Oh, how cool is that? Julia likes using colored pencils. Okay. So part of this, I'm going to leave white. So we almost have like a candy cane, and I'm just darkening up these kind of lighter little stripes in here. And I'm going to use the details that are in that stamped image to be my guide, because there's no sense in like reinventing the wheel, right? So all of that detail is all in that stamped image. And so I'm going to use that. Next, I'm going to go in with kind of a medium red, and I'm only going to shade in what I'm going to use as these darker sections of my little ornament. And I'm going to treat it the same way as I did the white. So I'm going to give it kind of a light tracing and go right around. And then I'm going to give it a shade in just all over. Another thing that's really helpful anytime that you're coloring with Copic markers or with colored pencils is if you kind of drag your pencil or your marker in the same direction. So it's going to help keep all of those marker lines and pencil lines and everything kind of flowing in the way that you want it to go. Okay, so we've got a good little base layer right here of that red. So let's go ahead and let's fill in the next one. And so this is the same way that I colored in our little, let me move this one over here, our little sweet treats. So I did this one the same way. So anything that was red, you know, I put the white layer down underneath and then added the reds on top. And I'm just going to go right around here. And you can kind of look at the stamped lines as well. And I almost follow, like you can see here that we have the curve in the ornament there. So you can kind of take your pencil in that direction. These are moving kind of straight down. So I'm going to keep those there and shade in. And then we've got that. And we're just going to have a cute little, let me flip it here, a cute kind of candy cane striped ornament when we're all finished here. And then once I learned, you know, kind of how easy this was to get better results with the white underneath, I was a lot happier with the things that I was coloring because I didn't know that little trick. Melissa is actually a really, really awesome colored pencil artist colorer. And so she knows like all the little tips and tricks. Okay, so I've got my base coat of kind of this medium red down. Next, I'm going to take a really deep, like red burgundy. And this is where anywhere that you're wanting to darken up, you're just going to go right over. So we know up here where the glass or that ornament is kind of pinched together that we want to darken that up. And we can kind of have that come right down. And you can kind of just keep adding in and kind of keep fussing. So you can tell here where that's really starting to get dark. I'm going to do the same thing down in here where it comes to that little pointy tip. Nothing fancy here. And I'm using the stamped image lines. And let's pull this down a little bit deeper. Right down those little lines. Really darken and deepen that up. Now, if you wanted to get really super fancy with your colored pencil coloring, you could get really deep and dark up in here and even take even a black or a really dark charcoal gray, and that would deepen that up even more. I'm pretty happy with this is looking, or how it's looking. You can tell it's deeper here. We've got a lighter section in here of that kind of medium red, and then it goes really deep and dark and rich up in here to where all of that glass and thing is kind of pointed together. So I'm just going to continue here and finish off, and we can kind of bring it down. I'm kind of following the stamped kind of hash lines and marks and things that are in this image. So that's kind of where I know I want to make areas deeper and darker right there on the edge to where it would be kind of curling around the ornament. Really deep up here where that glass is all pinched together, and I can kind of deepen it up right down in here, go around that edge, and then there we go. It's looking pretty good. I kind of like that. So we've got all of it deep and dark here. We have that dark ridge where it's kind of curling around the back side of the ornament. And then let's do the same thing with this other side. So I'm just using all those little drawn lines in the stamped image, and those are kind of being my guide here. So there's a lot of those little hash marks are lined right in here where it's kind of curled up. And so I'm really going to add a lot of this deep dark red right in there. And then I can kind of fade it out as it comes up. There we go. There we go, just like that. Now, if I want to make like a little gold top or something like that on there, let me look and see what we have here. So here's my little bag of colored pencils. Let's do maybe kind of this mustardy kind of yellow. And I'm just going to go over, and this is going to be easy peasy because one, I've already colored it in with the white to give it a good base layer. And there's really no need to add a whole lot of shading or anything on that. And so I've kind of changed the color of that and made it into kind of a muted gold. All right. So I'm going to set my little ornament. I'm pretty happy with the way that's looking. I'm going to set that aside. Now let's do something with our kind of little piney background here. And this was created when you could cut, let me find it here. You could cut the little window, and sorry, my dies are, oh, that's the treats. Let's get the right one here. There is a larger window. You'll notice that there's two different little ornament dies here. One can cut a window. You could use a little oval. You could use really whatever, or you can have it solid. So this was kind of created for that ornament to look like it is hanging in a little tree or something like that, or those little vintage Christmas lights that would go on a tree. So I'm going to color my little tree now. I'm going to do this exact same thing. Now this is going to be super easy. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because these are the little pine sprigs and pine needles. And so I'm not even going to worry about, you know, tracing it all out and doing all that. But I'm going to follow Melissa's rules here. I'm going to add just an overall kind of dusting of this white pencil. Just like that. And so it will pick up the nice pretty green. Just like that. And let's flip her over here. And let's do the other side. Just some little squiggles here. And I'm going to do the same thing with the greens that I choose, because there's no sense in spending a lot of time to color in every little pine needle. There we go. Now we've got these cute little snowflakes on here. So I think I'm going to just give it a little bit of a halo. And this is just me being extra. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to give it a little halo of white around it. And I am not staying in the lines at all here. I want it to almost have a little snowflake glow to it almost. Just a little something. So I'm just going to give it a light little shading. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now let's pull in our greens. So I've got two different greens. I've got a really nice, like bright, like grassy green, and then I've got a deeper olive. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give it an all over shading, almost just like I did, or pretty much just like I did the white. Just an all over with the grassy green. And then we'll go back in with the darker, and that's where we'll kind of deepen up just some little areas to make them stand out. Maybe add a few little shadows, a few little things just here and there, just to break up the bright grassy green. So let's go down this little branch. And I think that these little dies and these stamps, even the way that they're designed, they just scream like a gift tag to me. The shape, especially, I should have done one of the little Christmas lights. That would have been adorable too. But I thought this would be fun to do the little ornament and then the little candy cane topper. There's even a little candy cane in that stamp. So if you wanted to add another little candy cane on top, you could totally do that. But I kind of like the cute little sentiment that's left on there. Just like that. We're almost done here. Whoops, I don't want to forget this little guy. Okay, so I've got that, and you can see, you can't even really tell where I've just kind of messily colored those little pine sprigs in there. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so let's take that deep olive green now, and this is where I'm going to go right down what that center kind of stem is right there, and I'm just going to give it just a little here and there, just to kind of add some interest right down the stem and right at the base of those little pine needles. And it's going to deepen it up a little bit, just richen it up. There we go. And then let's add a little stem right here. And then just some darker areas. Okay, now we're going to be able to see now the difference. And I don't know how well it comes across on camera, but you can see here where it's richened up and deepened up a little bit, where this is just that all over kind of grassy green. And of course you could go in here. The fun with colored pencils is, and you could probably do this with Copic markers as well, as really you could fuss with colored pencils all day. and just add all the details and all the shading and the waxiness of your colored pencils. They just keep kind of working into themselves. Okay, and now we've got all kinds of little green areas there. So let's flip this over. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to add a really deep, dark little stem here and then start working my way up. Deep, dark stem. And you can see I am not, there's no carefulness about how I'm coloring these. That's kind of the fun too with colored pencils, I guess, is Copic markers, you kind of have to be a little more careful. Now that is really popping here. I don't know if that comes across on camera as well as it does in real life. And then here is what it's going to look like with the cute little ornament on the top. Okay, so let's get busy here. So I'm going to add some, I've got red and white twine and I've got black and white twine. So I may stick with the red and white theme since we've got our cute little ornament going on. And then I think that I am going to punch my hole. Now let me see, here we go. And I've just got one of these good old crocodiles. And I'm going to punch it about right in here where I think that ornament would kind of be hanging from our tree limb. And I'm just going to kind of incorporate it into the whole tag. And then I've got a little hole here that I'm going to punch out the center of the little ornament holder where it would connect to the tree. And then I can kind of do here. All right. I'm going to pull out a bunch of twine. Let's say I had the same crocodile. I know I've had mine for, oh man, years and years and years. Okay, now for my little ornament. Okay, this is where I'm going to have to think about this a little bit. I'm going to run this through. And I'm going to just use the same twine as my tag twine. But I think I'm going to attach this with a little bit of foam tape so it looks dimensional, you know, on our little tag here. Okay. And so to start out, let's flip this over and let's kind of, let me look at it this way. I got to eyeball it just right. And I'm going to kind of nestle it right down in there like so. And then let's see if we can make this little, my idea work. You guys are getting one of those nights. It's one of those nights where you get like the inner workings of Kelley's crazy crafty brain. I know some of you have been around for some of those evenings where I'm like, oh, I think that'll work. Now let's see here. Okay, so that is run through that little hole. And I think that there's all kinds of things that you could probably do to it. I could probably run it back around, tie a little bow right here. I could call it good just like that and have a long tail to connect it to the gift. But you can see how that, I think it's kind of cute like that. But if you had, let's say, embroidery floss that was like a gold or a silver, that would be really cute. And then I've still got space on the back that I can write my to froms or anything like that. Now, before we get carried away, as I always do, I'm going to take my glue, and this is where we're going to make a big old mess. So you should have seen my face today as I was cleaning myself up to get ready for this live stream. I had glitter all over myself. I don't know if anybody else does that. Like, you think that you're containing the glitter. We're really not containing the glitter. It's a mess. And I had it all over my clothes. I had it all over my face. And I'm just adding a little bit of our liquid adhesive here right to the edges. And we're going to kind of make this look like a vintage little tag card situation here. And I think you could use any kind of glitter that you want. This I have in my stash, and I have no idea where it came from, but it's a really fine glitter, and it's not gold and it's not silver. It's almost like a platinum kind of pewter color. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in and just give myself a nice little bed of glitter. And then I'm going to take those edges and just give them a little dippity dip into the glitter. Let's do a little flick off here. There we go. And then this is what we're left with right around the edges. Now, if you wanted to get super fancy, you can add, some little glitter into the little snowflakes. You could add glitter around the edge of your ornament. You could really go to town here with, all the glitter and all the fun and all the things. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to stir up the glitter again in my craft room, and I'm going to have it all over. Okay, so here we go. We've got two different versions here with those stamp sets. Whoops. So we've got a candy cane version, and then we've got the cute little ornament version. Okay, and so I popped up the little sentiment here, added the glitter and the twine, and then we've got, I'm kind of liking the piney ornament version. So let's see here. I'm going to go look at my comments here. Let's see, just a tiny bit on the ornament. So, yes, that's what I'm thinking. Glitter around the ornament. I should totally do that. Let's see, Kelley, you need one of those glitter. I totally need a glitter vac. I need those. I love both of them. Let's see, that sure turned out. Yes, glitter goes everywhere. If I tilt my face, you're going to catch the glitter. And it's like, it's everywhere. I get it everywhere. And yep, right here. I could just be going to a disco. Like, who knows? Great tags. Super fun. And so you can see we've been talking about too, as we go through this tag series, is how do we incorporate and how do we make this into a card? Where you guys can kind of see here how we could make this into a beautiful card, just like this with the die cut and the ornament here. We could use some beautiful pattern paper in the background. We could even use just a red card base and have the pine and the ornament be the star of the show. Same thing with the cute little candy cane, little vintage candy cane look. You can easily see how that would make a really cute card. On this one, I would probably do a side folding card that's turned horizontal so it opens, from top to bottom, and then have this be the star of the show and have maybe some candy cane stripe pattern paper or something in the background. But this would be totally easy to turn these into card ideas as well, even though they were designed to go on one of those little 3D gift card boxes. Let's see, or the new embossing folder in green. Yes, the snowy pine. Where is that snowy pine? This one. So we know here, this one right here in green with like the pine and things on top of it. That would be gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Always late. Hello in Ontario. 12 crafters are crafting around a table. One is using glitter. How many are using glitter? 12. We're all using glitter. We're all going to have glitter in all the places. That is for sure. For sure, for sure. My hubby would be asked why he had glitter when yes, that is a total thing. That's a total thing. For sure. Because I go wash my hands in the bathroom and then my husband or I'll fold a load of laundry. Like, look at my shirt as I lean in the light. I've got it everywhere. It's fine. It's fine, right? We all love our holiday glittery crafts. Okay, you guys. So we've got 2 more cards down in our book or brain of ideas. Hello, Jen Shirkus. How are you? And now it is time for Lisa to do our giveaway this evening. Thank you. Let's see, Alyssa or Alicia. I like that name. And Lisa's going to let us know our winner. And then I have an email to get back to Rachel too. I'll do that tonight too. So thank you for reminding me, Rachel. Let's see. Oh, Alicia. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Alicia, you are the winner. And so if you will email me at Kelley, Kelley, at honeybeestamps.com, I am going to send you a prize. I'm going to send Miss Rachel a prize. And I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Don't forget that we're off on our days because of me. We're going to be back tomorrow night with more tags. So I hope you guys can come join us, chat with us, hang out, and have a lot of fun. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow evening. Bye-bye, friends.